staying consistent. One of the hardest things to do in working out, in life, in everything that you do. How do you stay consistent and achieve those long-term goals? Welcome back to the Marcus Allgood Show. I appreciate everybody listening and watching. Today we're going to talk about staying consistent and how to achieve those long-term goals as far as like working out, just your career, just staying in life in general, and just doing it without being burnt out. So consistency is one of the life's greatest differentiators. And I actually comment on people's TikToks about, like, when I see somebody working out, they got awesome transformation or they're in the middle of their journey, I always tell them consistency and discipline is shining through. I love it. Love seeing it. Whether you're aiming for fitness, career success, or general well-being, your ability to stay consistent determines your trajectory. But consistency doesn't mean relentlessly pushing yourself to the brink. True consistency involves finding sustainable habits, balancing productivity and meaningful rest, and protecting yourself from the burnout. Mastering consistency helps you build lasting results without sacrificing your mental, emotional, or physical health. Some key insights and principles. Balance is vital. Long-term consistency demands you balance work, physical health, emotional wellness, and rest effectively. Resting effectively when you get older is probably one of the hardest things to do. Last night, I just didn't get to sleep. I went to bed, but I just didn't sleep very well. And it was kind of crazy because I usually try and wake up at 4:30 without an alarm, and it was 4:42. I didn't know what time it was, and I heard the dog bark. And I looked over, and my wife was still sleeping. I was like, she didn't move. Listen, dog didn't bark again. Dog didn't whine, nothing. The dog was sleeping. That bark woke me up so that way I would get up and go work out. So I don't know how it works, but somehow my brain will wake me up to do it. And that helps me, keeps me consistent for sure. Because if I sleep in, I won't be able to do it. So if my brain wakes me up, I'll be able to stay consistent and go work out. You got to have a clear purpose. A deep-rooted self of purpose provides sustained motivation to remain consistent even when motivation wanes. It's the drive is what keeps me. The journey is what keeps me going. People ask me on my lives, like, what am I training for? And I tell them life. I'm training for life. There's nothing else I'm training for. I'm training for life and to be able to play with my kids and just be able to, stay moving at my age and just keep going. Incremental progress, small, steady improvements compound over time, often surpassing dramatic short-term efforts. Compound effect is what they call this. Dan Hardy calls it. And then even Atomic Habits talks about just stacking small, little, steady improvements and how big they become after you compound them over and over and over, these small, little wins. Routine reduces friction. Creating structured routines help conserve mental energy, making consistency more effortless. This is a huge one. If you don't have a routine, you're just flying by the night on working out, getting up, morning routine, bedtime routine, all of it. Like, it's got to be in a routine. Like, my days are structured to where it's pretty much the same thing every day. There are some times where I got to go do different things, but my mornings are the same and my evenings are the same. Lunch is usually about the same, but it doesn't have to be an extravagant morning routine. We talked about these morning routines before. It's just got to be get up at the same time, brush your teeth, go to the gym, come back home, read, do whatever makes you happy at that time that you have time for. Mine is get up, brush my teeth, go to the garage, or take my vitamins, go to the garage, work out, come back inside, take care of the kids, feed the kids breakfast, and feed myself, and then get the kids to school. Preventive self-care, proactively managing stress through self-awareness, rest, and recovery prevents burnout before it starts. Flexibility and adaptability. Consistency doesn't mean rigidity. Being adaptable allows you to maintain progress despite life's inevitable disruptions. And we all have those disruptions every day, but you got to if you have your 4 things or your 5 things, the core things that you have to get done, that is your routine. If you get those done, those disruptions do not throw you off track of what you're trying to get done, of what you're trying to do, and doesn't get away your goals. It will slow you down a little bit, but it does not get in your way. It won't take away from those goals. So some practical steps and some strategies. For consistent workouts, structured planning, schedule the workouts ahead of time in your calendar. Stick to realistic durations, 20 to 60 minutes that easily fit into your lifestyle. I do about hour and 15 minutes because I get up so early. Workout variety, alternate between cardio, strength training, flexibility, and recovery days to avoid monotony and injury. Just depends on what you're used to, but definitely switch it up if you have to. I follow a program and it's progressive overload. Sometimes we repeat the same things over and over and over and over, but it gets the job done. You gotta remember, boring gets results. Accountability, find a partner with a friend or a trainer or join a supportive community to enhance accountability. You find your accountability on TikTok, find your accountability on Instagram or Facebook. Like, find somebody to keep you in track or keep you accountable for it. Visible tracking, I track all my workouts. Keep a workout journal or calendar, making your progress visually to reinforce consistency. Take some pictures, track your weights, see how you're going up and down. I track them every day. I look at them all the time, but I'm not trying to go for huge PRs or anything anymore. So it's more about just what I did before and like that 6-week cycle. Did I get a little bit stronger? Yes, good. Let's go on to the next cycle. Prioritize recovery, probably one of the hardest things we all have an issue with. Implement regular rest days, proper nutrition, hydration, stretching, and adequate sleep. I get stretching, hydration, nutrition in. Not many rest days in there because I like to do something every day. Doesn't have to be crazy. Like, I go a 5K walk on Sundays. Nothing crazy. Like, a lot of people can't even do a 5K walk, so that could be somebody's workout. It's just a kind of there are no rest days. There's no active rest days. Let's just say that there are rest days where you just don't do anything, but it's hard for me to do nothing. All right, so for your career, goal clarity. Clearly define long-term career goals and break them down into monthly, weekly, actionable steps. Daily priorities and tasks. Every morning, list 2 to 3 high-impact tasks to ensure daily progress. Boundaries and time blocks. Create dedicated blocks of focused time for essential tasks, free from distractions. Clearly define work boundaries to prevent overworking. Periodic review and reflection. Schedule weekly reviews to evaluate progress, reassess priority, and adjust as needed. Keep those goals coming. Keep stacking those wins on top of each other. Professional development. Dedicate regular time each week to skill building, learning, or mentorship to maintain growth and motivation. I like to learn things every day. Like every week, every month, I'm trying to learn something new. Like this month in June, I want to learn more about negotiation tactics for a buyer's agent in the real estate world. That is what I want to learn, and that's what my goal is to learn for next month. All right, so we're going to move on to for life consistency, relationship, and personal growth. Routine check-ins. Regularly dedicate time to meaningful interactions with friends and family. Weekly calls, monthly gatherings. Habit rituals. Implement daily rituals like meditation, reading, or journaling to support emotional and mental clarity. Whatever you got time for. It doesn't have to be hour-long meditation. Mindfulness and gratitude. Daily gratitude journaling or mindfulness meditation, even just 5 to 10 minutes a day, promotes emotional stability and mental resilience. I give gratitude every day. I love giving gratitude. I can't stress it enough because you can't be angry when you're in a state of gratitude. You can't be upset in a state of gratitude. Self-care practices. Regularly schedule activities you generally enjoy, unrelated to work or obligations, to recharge your energy. And I'm guilty of that. I don't do a lot of that. I would love to get out there and golf one day a week just to unplug, get away from it all. But I do not schedule it, and I need to do it. I know we're preaching to the choir, but it's just so much I got to do. But anyways, we're going to get to it. I am going to focus on that also. Along with you, I'm going to focus on it. Common challenges and solutions. Burnout, physical and mental fatigue. So one of the solutions, set intentional boundaries, regularly schedule downtime, quality sleep, and actively recover. Yoga, walking, mindfulness, which I already said there's active recovery. It was not active rest. So, but one thing I've been talking to my wife about and one of my team leads is scheduling the downtime, putting away your phone, getting the quality sleep, clock out at a certain time, whether it's going to be 4:35 or 6, put the phone down. You can get to it the next day. High achievers and high motivational people, they tend to not be able to do that because we're people pleasers. We don't want to miss that next $1 million deal. And so we always have our phones on us. We're always worried about FOMO, like fear of missing out on the next deal. But it's going to be there. It'll still be there. Lack of motivation. Solution: revisit your why. This is super important. Always revisit your why. Remind yourself regularly of your deeper purpose behind your goals. Keep visual reminders in your environment. If you got to put it on your phone, if you got to tape it on the mirror in your bathroom, if you got to put it on in your car, find a spot that helps you understand your why you're doing it, and you can read it all the time to keep you going. Inconsistency after setbacks. Adopt a growth mindset. View setbacks as learning opportunities, not failures. Reset quickly and return immediately to your routines. And then we're going to be, if you're feeling overwhelmed or too busy, we all get this way. Like I get this way all the time, but I prioritize ruthlessly. Eliminate, delegate, and delay non-essential tasks to create space for what truly matters. And some of it goes to the wayside, but I mean, like gardening or the lawn, that gets thrown all the way to the bottom. I prioritize everything else over that. Monotony and boredom. Introduce regular variety in your routines. Alternate exercises. Try new work strategies. Or explore new hobbies to maintain enthusiasm. But you have to remember, boring makes money, and boring builds goals, and boring will get you to your goals, and it'll stack wins on top of each other over and over and over. So let's talk about an inspirational story. One powerful example of consistency without burnout is that of Kobe Bryant. Known globally for his extraordinary work ethic, Kobe often emphasized disciplined consistency, but also smart recovery. He adopted structured routines for practice, physical therapy, sleep, and mindfulness. Kobe balanced relentless ambition with intentional rest, understanding the importance of recovery to sustain peak performance over decades. His success wasn't due solely to intensity, but to strategic, consistent actions coupled with disciplined self-care. Kobe's legendary Mamba Mentality wasn't just relentless effort, it was sustainable consistency backed by intentional rest and clarity of purpose. So keep that in mind the next time you start to go down the wrong road of not being consistent. The greats are always consistent. They always put in the time and the effort, and they do recover. So some of the final thoughts I got is consistency is the hallmark of excellence, but it must be sustainable. By combined structured routines, clear boundaries, preventative self-care, and mindful flexibility, you ensure steady, lasting progress without sacrificing your health or joy in the progress. That's the pod. I appreciate everybody listening and watching. I'll see you on the next one.